You click swap, wait a few seconds, and somehow your token appears. No seller accepted your offer. No trader matched your order. So who did you actually trade with? In a normal market, buyers and sellers meet through an order book. Someone offers to sell, someone offers to buy, and the exchange matches them. DeFi often works differently. Many decentralized exchanges let you trade against a pool of tokens sitting inside a smart contract. A liquidity pool is easiest to imagine as a vending machine for tokens. It holds two assets. You put one asset in, and it gives the other asset out. The machine does not negotiate with you. It follows a pricing rule written in code. This design matters because it lets people trade on-chain without waiting for a professional market maker or a matching engine. If the pool has enough liquidity, a swap can happen directly from your wallet, through a smart contract, and back to your wallet. A basic pool usually contains a pair of tokens, like ETH and a stablecoin. The pool keeps reserves of both. When traders swap, one reserve goes up and the other reserve goes down. The changing balance is what creates the price. In an automated market maker, the price is not typed in by a person. It comes from the relationship between the two reserves. If ETH becomes scarcer inside the pool charges more stablecoins for each additional ETH. The classic simple model uses the idea that one reserve times the other reserve should stay balanced around a constant. People often call this X times Y equals K. You do not need advanced math to get the intuition. The pool resists being drained. Imagine a pool starts with 10 ETH and $30,000 in stablecoins. The rough pool price is $3,000 per ETH. If someone buys ETH from the pool, they add stablecoins and remove ETH. Now ETH is less available, so the next ETH costs more. This is why trade size matters. A small swap barely changes the pool. A large swap pushes the reserves a lot. The bigger your trade is compared with the pool, the more the pool price moves while your trade is being executed. That movement is a big part of slippage. The price you see before clicking is an estimate. The final execution can be worse if your own trade moves the pool, or if other transactions change the pool before yours is confirmed. Liquidity is like depth in a harbor. In shallow water, one big boat creates a huge wave. In deep water, the same boat barely disturbs the surface. A deeper pool usually handles larger trades with less price impact. If this kind of clear crypto breakdown helps, consider subscribing while we build the idea step by step. The goal here is not hype. It is understanding what actually happens when tokens move through DeFi. The tokens in a pool do not appear from nowhere. They come from liquidity providers. These are users who deposit assets into the smart contract so traders can swap against them. In return, they usually earn a share of trading fees. In many simple pools, a liquidity provider deposits both assets in the current pool ratio. If the pool is half ETH value and half stablecoin value, the provider adds a matching value of each. This keeps the pool price from being instantly distorted. After depositing, the provider receives LP tokens, or a position record. Think of it like a claim ticket. It represents a share of the pool, not a fixed number of each token. As trades happen, the pool composition changes, and so does what that claim is worth. Every swap usually pays a fee. That fee is added to the pool or accounted for by the protocol, and liquidity providers receive value based on their share. More trading volume can mean more fees, but fees are only one side of the story. Fees compensate liquidity providers for putting their assets at risk and making trades possible. Without them, providers would have little reason to lock tokens in a pool where prices keep changing. The fee is the market paying for immediate liquidity. This is the first major misunderstanding. Providing liquidity can earn fees, but it is not a savings account. You are taking market risk, smart contract risk, and sometimes token risk. The pool may return a different mix of assets than you expected. Suppose you deposit ETH and stablecoins. If ETH rises a lot compared with the stablecoin, traders and arbitrage bots tend to buy stablecoins with ETH, or buy ETH away from the pool depending on the price gap. the pool rebalances through trading. Pools do not know the outside world by themselves. If the pool price differs from other markets, arbitrage traders step in. They buy where the asset is cheap and sell where it is expensive. Their activity pulls the pool price back toward the wider market. Impermanent loss is the difference between the value of your liquidity position and the value you would have had by simply holding the original tokens. It happens because the pool automatically sells some of the asset that becomes more expensive and buys more of the asset that becomes cheaper. The word impermanent can be misleading. If prices move away and later return to the original ratio, the loss compared with holding can shrink or disappear before withdrawal. But if you withdraw after a large price change, the loss is realized. The name does not mean harmless. Liquidity providers hope that accumulated fees outweigh impermanent loss and other risks. Sometimes they can, sometimes they do not. The outcome depends on trading volume, price movement, fee level, pool design, and timing. That is why liquidity provision is an active risk decision. From the trader side, the main questions are different. Is there enough liquidity for the trade? What is the expected slippage? What fee will be paid? Is the token real and safe to interact with? A smooth swap screen can hide many moving parts. From the liquidity provider side, the question is not simply how high the fee is. The provider asks what assets they are holding, how volatile the pair is, whether one token could fail, and whether the smart contract has risks they understand. Not all pools behave the same. A pool between two assets that usually track each other, like two stablecoins, may have lower price movement and lower slippage. A pool between two volatile assets can change composition much more dramatically. AMMs are not all one formula. Some use curves designed for similarly priced assets. Some allow custom weights. Some concentrate liquidity into chosen price ranges. The shared idea is still the same. Code holds reserves and offers trades based on a rule. Concentrated liquidity lets providers place their funds inside a specific price range instead of across every possible price. This can make capital more efficient when the market stays in range. But if the price leaves that range, the position may stop earning fees until it is adjusted. Small pools can be useful, but they are easier to move. A single trade can create heavy slippage. A manipulator may also push a thin pool price around more easily. Deep liquidity is not a guarantee of safety, but thin liquidity is a clear warning sign. When you use a DeFi pool, your wallet usually signs permissions and transactions. A token approval lets a contract move a specific token from your wallet. A swap transaction tells the contract what trade you want. Understanding approvals matters because signatures control access. Several things can go wrong. A trade can fail if slippage limits are too tight. It can execute at a worse price if limits are too loose. A bad token can include strange transfer rules. A vulnerable contract can be exploited. DeFi removes middlemen, but not risk. Slippage tolerance is your instruction for how much worse the final price is allowed to be. Set it too low, and normal market movement may cause the transaction to fail. Set it too high, and you may accept a painful execution you did not really intend. AMMs became important because they made token markets easier to launch and use on-chain. A project or community did not need a centralized exchange listing before people could trade. If users supplied liquidity, a market could exist as a smart contract. That openness has a cost. Anyone can create a pool, including people launching worthless, confusing, or malicious tokens. A pool existing on-chain does not prove that the asset is legitimate. Liquidity only means tokens are available to trade at some price. Put the pieces together. A trader sends token A into the pool. The AMM formula calculates how much token B comes out. The reserves shift. The pool price changes. A fee is collected. Liquidity providers now own a slightly different slice of a changed pool. The real innovation is not that AMMs make trading free or riskless. They do not. The innovation is that a transparent smart contract can coordinate traders and liquidity providers without a traditional order book. It turns market making into software that anyone can inspect and interact with. For beginners, remember three ideas. A liquidity pool is a shared reserve of tokens. An AMM prices swaps by a rule based on those reserves. Liquidity providers can earn fees, but they also take real risks, especially when prices move or contracts fail. If one part of liquidity pools still feels unclear, ask your question in the comments. You can also suggest the next DeFi topic, like bridges, lending protocols, stablecoins, or wallet approvals. The best questions often become the clearest future explainers.